Okay, so on the homework, they have a few of these problems where they say f prime of x is continuous for all x. And then they say f of s has a local extreme value at a certain x value. Complete the table. And the table gives you x values and it gives you the derivative. So for this problem, they don't give you a lot of information, and it's just testing if you know the relationship between the derivative and the local max and local min. So because it says local extreme, you could do two cases. You can say it's a local max, or you could say it's a local min, and then you need to think about what's happening with the slope. So if this is x equals 4, we know that at that max or min, the derivative is going to be 0. Okay, and we're not going to do the undefined case because it says the derivative is continuous. So then if we think about a max, before that x value, my function has to be increasing, which means the slope has to be positive. So at x equals 1, which is to the left of 4, my slope would have to be positive. And you can put any positive number you want. I don't know, like 2 or 4 or 5, it doesn't really matter, but it would be positive. But then after, if it's a local max, then my function would start decreasing, which means the slope is negative, and so I would need some negative number for when x is 7 because it's to the right, and the slope at that point would be negative. If you think it's a min, you could do this a different way, and it would be the same idea. But if you consider it a min, well, at 1, if this is where my min is at 4, it would still be 0. But at 1, my function would be decreasing, so the slope would be some negative value. Again, pick any negative number you want. And then after 4, so at 7, the function would be increasing, and so that slope would be positive, and you pick any positive number. And then based on your table, you're going to fill in these words. So based on your table, f of x is blank until x equals 4. So my first one, if it was a max, I would say f of x is increasing until x equals 4. Okay, again, this is f prime, so I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what the original function is doing. And this should say is decreasing after. The function f of x will have a maximum. So that would be if I did like this first case here, this max. If instead that second case, if I said it was a min, then it would just be f of x is decreasing until x equals 4 and is increasing after. Because again, we're doing this case of a min, and therefore we have a minimum. I'm not going to write the whole thing, but f of x and x equals 4. Okay, so that's the one case. And then the other case is it looks very similar. It says f prime of x is continuous for all x. F of x does not have a local extreme value at x equals 4, but f prime of 4 equals 0. So again, we know that the derivative is 4 of 4 equals 0. So if it does not have a local extreme, it's like that plateau point we talked about, where the graph kind of levels off and keeps going. And so the derivative can't change sign. So before x equals 4 and after x equals 4, the derivative would be the same sign. So again, you can pick any number like this -2, -2, but it just has to be the same sign. So either make them both negative or both positive, and then fill in this based on that. So based on your table, because I picked negative, f of x is decreasing until x equals 4, and again is decreasing after. the function f of x will have it's called a plateau point at x equals 4. So your homework doesn't say plateau point, it says neither a max or a min. So you would put that if they tell you it's not a local extreme. Again, you can make these positive and then say increasing or increasing, but still neither a max or a min. So hopefully that helps with those homework problems.